There we go. It's not a panic, this.
Come rain or shine, all the time our families will bring. And as the Lions run on the pitch, everyone will sing. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the dam. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. We'll only have to beat 'em again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the dam. It's Saturday in Congo Lane, we've all come down to cheer. We've had our jelly deals and our glass of beer. Come rain or shine, all the time our families will bring. And as the Lions run on the pitch, everyone will sing. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the dam. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. We'll only have to beat 'em again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the dam. Let 'em all come down to
I was getting really worried then. Hang on, where are we here? Good evening. How are we? How are we? Yeah.
Good. Evening all.
Yeah, evening everyone. Evening, Joe and Pete. Thanks for joining us. Kenny's away in Spain playing golf. I said to Joe before we went live, hang on, no one's commenting. Usually like there's people waiting and people commenting, and Cole Bracey comes in with evening fellas and saved today. I was going to start thinking.
I thought something was up there.
Yeah, I was like, thank God for Jimmy. Go, thank God for that. How we doing, boys?
all good.
All good.
We covered after the Benidorm?
Yeah, well, I'm just getting there.
It takes about a week to get over that.
It takes about, at least a week to get your sleeping pattern back together.
I said to you before we started, it's nothing to do with football. It's one of the, I think Benidorm and Portugal are one of the few places that everyone's been that I've not been.
Got to get yourself out.
Live, Dan.
It's like a Thamesmead version of Vegas, isn't it, apparently?
Yeah, man place. And if all the viewers here, if any of them been at Benidorm, they're told as well. Just get your back.
Brilliant. Right. Lots to talk about, boys. We're 5 games in. We was actually on extremely early. We put the show as a 8:05 start. I lied to the boys because we always come flying in at like 3 minutes to 8. Well, me and Joe don't. Naming no names, but Kenny as well is always running through the door, isn't he? So I said to the boys 8 o'clock, but it was actually a 8:05. And Joe, you told your dad 7:30.
Yeah, I know what he's like. I said 7:30.
I put the camera on. I'm sitting pottering around doing a few bits to get the show ready. I looked and I could see like your dining table in the background, and hear Pete singing in the background, making a cup of tea. And even after all that, we're still fucking late.
Yeah, like someone else has just come back from Benidorm.
Oh, really? Yeah. You saw a few Mill boys out there, didn't you?
Yeah, it might have been there same time as us. We got back on Sunday.
Yeah. Did you watch it? Did JR Lions MFC watch it in the iBook bar by any chance?
Proper dive could piss up.
It's true, yeah.
Someone once said to me, it's like Las Vegas Thamesmead version.
Blackpool on steroids.
No, Blackpool on stilts.
Brilliant. Right. Let's get into the football, boys. There is lots to discuss. We're 5 games into the season. So we're going to have a little recap on the season so far. We're not going to dwell on the previous games too much, but we're going to discuss tonight where we are now, where we was at this point last season, a few players. We're going to rate their performances so far through the season. Obviously, it wouldn't be Millwall if there wasn't a bit of chaos thrown in there, which we'll get onto, and there is more news today. I'm sure you've all seen it. I've had loads of people firing into my Instagram DMs telling me and sending me the photos. So we'll get into all that. But let's start out, boys, with our current league position. We currently sit 18th in the table, played 5, won 1, drawn 1, lost 3. We're on 4 points. We've scored 8, but we've also conceded 8, which leaves our goal difference at 0. So our goal difference isn't too bad. And, there's teams above us and obviously below us as well with much worse off goal difference. Let's just talk in general how you two feel that the season has started and where we are as a team after, again, the tragic pass of the match of Sarkic in the summer. Of course, Neil Harris did a rescue job at the back end of last season. He did say it's going to be a different kind of task this time round. And then 10 new players through the door, but 8 of them are currently injured. But Joe, what do you think of the season so far to start? You happy with it? You pissed off of it? What you expected?
I was thinking of one word to sum it up earlier, and I came up with indifferent.
What does that mean? Don't that mean exactly the same?
Yeah, no, indifferent is... I don't know if I've even come up with the right... It's just been a bit of a weird one, really.
I've not really got going yet, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like... I think we've played well, but it's a results-driven business, and 1 win to me out of 5 games, it isn't a great reading, really, is it? I think first couple of games that we had Watford, Bristol City, shambolic in defence. Tanganga comes back in, shores it up a bit. You had the Sheffield Wednesday game, brilliant from top to bottom, both ends of the pitch.
Yeah.
And then Luton, I don't think we played too bad. I would say I haven't really got too many complaints about that game, but we lost. So I think we deserved at least a draw out of it.
Are we about where you expected us to be at this point, considering the amount of changes that's happened again over the summer transition?
In a way, probably, yeah. I've always said we are sort of slow starters, in all honesty. We're always around this sort of position at this stage pretty much every season since I've remembered. So you just hope we can get it rolling, but we're stacking up on the injury list now, aren't we? So it's not looking good. I don't know where we go from here at the minute.
That's the only thing for me. The game plan works when we've got the right person to do it. We only had him for 1 of the fucking quarter games. Hey, how do you feel that the season started for you? Is it what you expected? You expected more?
Yeah, I'll say I expected more, especially after the last 5 games, the last 5 victories at the end of last season. But then obviously with the transfers, people coming in, losing Tanganga was a massive blow for the start of the season. I'm sure with him in, if he started them 2 games, we would have picked up 6 points there. I'm sure we would have done. But then we look at the Sheffield Wednesday performance, great performance. The whole solid performance. The Luton one, I'll say with Joe, when I said in here after the interview after the game, that I thought we was unlucky. I couldn't say, like you want to boo the players off after losing, because they put all the effort in and you could see what was going on. And I think as Neil Harris described it, these championship games, apart from that first of all, we can see they can be very, very, very tight. And you concede that 1 goal, and it's some way, you fight, uphill struggle to get back into the game. And they got the goal. We huffed and puffed, and Wagstaff's thingy chance at the end, not Wagstaff, thingy, but Langstaff's chance near the end. Great save by the keeper. Then Figgy's header, Hutchinson's header near the end. We, just unlucky. And I couldn't fault the performance, But I still think, missing the striker now, Josh Goldman going out, that's a big miss. That's a massive, massive miss. But I can see there's a lot more to come in this team. And
I agree.
Points-wise, I'm disappointed. I think we could have done with another 3 points on the board there, and I'll be very happy with the start if we ended up with 7 points from that start,
Yeah, I'm just looking there, right? In the last 2 columns, obviously you can't see what it is at the top of the screen, but the last 2 columns is scored, right? So that goes from the bottom of the table, Cardiff, We've only scored one goal in 11. That's handy. We've got him in a couple of weeks. Scored, you know what's going there now. They'll win 5-0. Scored 8. So right up to that top 10. We're actually the top scorers there. Obviously, 2 against Watford, 3 against Bristol City, which we thought was going to be our biggest problem. But like you said, it wasn't. It was at the other end of the pitch, and then Tanganga comes in. We've also conceded 8. We've not lost the game. I know we've lost 3, right? We've not lost any game by more than 1 goal. If you look at Bristol City right above us, scored 6. I mean, 4 of them was against us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And let in 11.
Yeah.
So,
That was shocking defending, Dan, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that was.
Personally, I don't feel like you said, Pete. We're not a million miles away. No. It's very fine margins. You could argue conceding 4 is not fine margins. You know what I mean? You got to sort that out. But we had Tanganga come back, and since he did come back, we shored it right up. But I do feel, I don't like saying this, I feel we're unlucky. Well, very unlucky with injuries, and especially on Saturday as well. I don't like to say with referees. We just don't seem to have much luck. But like you said as well, Peter, we're building a young team. We're not a team full of fucking has-beens and no-knees now, right? We're a team which got a lot of young players. And for me, this season, what would you be happy with, boys? For me, I'm just happy to survive this year because I can see a bigger plan ahead now.
Yeah, exactly that.
No, but I think, Dan, in my opinion, like when Gary Rowett came in, he was never like, I mean, if you go back years, and I'm going back years, but you don't want to hear this sort of thing from manager. I remember when Steve Claridge took over for that little small time, and they said to him, what would you be happy at the end of the season? He went, just to stay above the bottom 3. That's what we don't want to hear. We don't want to hear that, okay? I want to be like the Gary Rowett sort of player. I want to aim for the playoffs. Yeah, that's all I want to. I don't want to say. Of course, we want to stay in the league or get promoted, but aim a little bit higher. Don't sort of go. We want to be mid-table. Let's aim for the playoffs, and if we finish mid-table, so be it. But
do you know what?
I don't want to be obviously in a relegation battle, but I think we should be aiming, especially with the money we spent, the money he put in Berylson, and I think the minimum. As a club, I know we've had a bad start, is aim for the playoffs. It's my opinion.
Do you know where it's suddenly changed, though, people's expectations? Is we had that playoff push for a few years in a row. So that become the expectation. Whereas last year, I know we finished way above it in the end, but we did have a bit of a scrap on our hands, didn't we? And everything we went through last year, with all the management changes and stuff, and obviously losing John Berylson at the start of the season, or just before, I just feel like expectations have suddenly slightly changed. We've gone from saying we're going to push for the playoffs, and as you've alluded to as well, I feel like we're building a young squad now. There's a lot of younger players coming in.
Yeah,
I think we may have to sort of drop our expectations slightly and look at the bigger picture.
Just go back to that Luton game, right? There were spells in there where we attacked with fluency, which was like I haven't seen in a long time. The speed, getting down the wings, getting bodies in the box, the pace and the speediness of it. It weren't slow from the midfield. It was all quick. So that to me is like an exciting sort of sign of things to come. Yeah, especially home games. I think the home games we're going to see a lot more intensity from the Millwall players. Obviously not in a way of much, but and that was great to see in the Luton game. And yeah, my expectations are playoffs. That's it.
Yeah, I'm with Joe on this one. And if you look back, right? So I look back today. I was trying to find the league table. I can do this for hours here. Not just that. I was trying to find the league table from this exact point last season, which I couldn't find. But I found the game from this point last season, where we are now, which was 5 games in. And there he is, rest in peace, of course. Maciej Sarkic saved a penalty in a 1-1 draw at Birmingham. At that point last season, or at this point last season, we was on 7 points, right? And we beat Middlesbrough away on the opening day. We was at the Carabao Cup. I was 4-0 at Reading. I'm going off memory. I didn't write it down. We beat Stoke at home. And then we lost another one away. But we was on 7 points. But I'm going to back what Joe says here. At this point last season, we'd had Gary Rowett in charge, and I'm not knocking Rowett. Everyone says Rowett brought us stability, which he did. We always say a manager goes, and a lot of time, like we saw Joe Edwards, not just at our club, any club, another one comes in, it goes dunk. For Rowett to continue where Harris, in my opinion, left it and progressed it slightly, we did a fantastic job. I did find the football under Rowett extremely boring, and I said to someone today about this. That's not me digging Rowett out. That's just genuinely how my body and my emotions were reacting to watching that football. But at this point, like I said, we had a manager in charge for what? What was Rowett in charge for? 4 years? 4 years? We progressed and stabilised and been at that level which Pete is speaking about, like going to the next level. So I don't think we're a million miles away.
I feel like in a way we've taken a step back, but to push forward more.
Yeah.
It's like the age-old getting a bit intellectual here with the... Have you heard of that saying, an arrow has to be pulled backwards to be able to launch forwards?
Oh, I like that as well.
There you go. And I feel like that's where we may be going.
And also, as well with Rowett, again, it's not me digging them out. I'm just telling you the facts. Look at the players we had under Rowett. Most of them were Neil Harris players. The ones he did bring in, majority were loanees. He did bring in Fleming, who's now been sold for profit, so that was job done. And Casper de Norre, who for me has been fucking probably our best player so far this season. He may win that Ballon d'Or yet. But with the players we're getting now, like Tanganga on a permanent, like Jensen, I know people think Jensen had a shaky start, but I think he's getting there now.
I feel like all of our keepers have had shaky starts.
Yeah, they have.
Well, he walks into a very professional footballer or not, he's walked into a very fucking difficult position there, isn't he? Especially with a tribute of Sarkic on the opening day. He must have felt that extra pressure. He must have felt it. But like you say, Joe, I think that we took a little step back, but the players we've got now, I think I put a team up on one of the videos I did. It might have been on this live stream. A team that we could fill with not one player over 25 years old. We never had that under Rowett. So I think exactly what you're saying. Maybe take a little step back to move forward. But the injuries, but everything that could go wrong this season so far has, and it's surely things can only get better, Pete.
Yeah, agree. And I also agree on what you said about De Norre. I mean, I was not last season his biggest fan. And I think the best thing that ever happened for De Norre is for Fleming to go. Like Mr. Muscles, who thought he was kingpin at our club, right? He stepped aside now and it's allowed De Norre to like flourish, right?
It's made him that, like you said, the way that him and Savile are bursting forward now. That's how Savile used to be. And De Norre's now doing it.
Because that number 10, that Fleming, like I say, Mr. Muscles, was holding the old team up, and stopping us going forward. But now De Norre's got that little bit of room to actually move forward with the ball. And to me, like you agree, he's been a revelation and he's our player of the season so far. Love
as
it.
Well, I read an article that just come out today. I can't remember whether it's Southwark News, South London Press, whatever, put it out, where Harris said he's given De Norre, the likes of De Norre, Savile and Honeyman, the license to run forwards.
Free rein.
Whereas Rowett would probably hold those players back.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, yeah.
We are seeing that. You're seeing better
you see it a mile off, the amount of runs he's making forward.
I think Kenny summed up really well. Kenny said Gary Rowett's inherited a bag of shit and he don't want that smell to get out, so he's wrapping it up and trying to keep it all in. But, there's only so many low knees and defensive, strength that you can put together and holding your back lines and not letting people bomb on. It did get the results, but as a football club, I felt that we was never, ever going to reach that next level under right now I'm seeing. And a lot of the players is still unknown, with Kelly, with Ivanovic, with Aziz, can they perform at this level? But we've definitely got the foundations right now, in my opinion, with the youth, with the age of the squad.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? And there are players as well on the whole.
Yeah.
Have we got any low knees? Who's the low knees? Oh, we'll get onto the low knees. When you said what you told me today, I was like, you know everything about Callum Scanlon. So look, let's look back just quickly. We're not going to dwell on these too much, but let's talk about the opening day against Watford. If you could, we're not going to dissect the game, but it didn't go right. If you could probably pick out a sentence or two or three things, boys, don't mind who goes first. What What was our undoing that day? I think we all know, but go
on. Number one, Tanganga not there to shore up the mid-out defence.
Yep.
Right. I don't think the defence knew what they was doing. The overall display, again, like the Luton game, I was happy with. But it was the defence that let us down that game. Yeah. And obviously the goalkeeper made a
goalkeeping errors as well.
Yeah.
Throwing there.
Goalkeeping errors. It was his first game. It was a nervous game for him. I don't think we'll see, hopefully not, he made a couple of mistakes in that game, didn't he? You know, at the corner and it's a great free kick, you know, but
look how far out it is though, and he's got a good view of it.
Yeah, but you've got to look at his positioning. Like, who else used to do that? He used to go to the other side, go, right, put it in the top left-hand corner, because you're not going to get it in from there. And they go right to the other side of the goal. He should be in the middle of the goal, and he would have got to that. But listen, I'm not blaming him for that. That's like going back the whole thing. But I just think it was defence, missing Tanganga, and that's it, I think, in that game.
Yeah. Joe, moving on to Bristol City, I mean, never more have we missed Tanganga at this point. And it was mad because everyone was saying the biggest problem we've got is we ain't got enough up front. We end up scoring 3 goals this day. Come from behind again. Someone else did say this earlier in the comments. You know, shipping 2 goals in 12 minutes didn't help. Keep going behind in games with slow starts for me, Bristol City, and Sean Hutchinson and Jake Cooper MIA as well.
I think that picture you got up there sums it up. I think it was shambolic defending. We fell asleep at times for their goals. But in all honesty, it's shown great character for us to come back from that and get 3-2. And then it feels like we just undone all our hard work and fell asleep again. Just lack of concentration at times, that really was. That's the way I'd sum it up.
Yeah, and game management, as we always say about game management.
Yeah.
And then obviously, we've only lost by an individual goal in both games, but you can't ship 7 in 2. And then the next game after that was, of course, more of a Millwall type, especially away from home, and Neil Harris type, you know, batting down the hatches. Not a lot happening in the game, but at that point, we needed a clean sheet and we needed a point on the board. And we got it at Hull and something to build on. Tanganga back looked good. Aziz coming off the bench for his debut as well. And things looked like they was turning around for me there.
Yeah, I think so.
I still think, honestly, feel things have. We're going to get onto the Luton game in a minute. But before Luton, I mean, we said it already, boys, but Sheffield Wednesday was the complete performance. And for me, with Sheffield Wednesday, when I see people put in my comments all the time, Neil Harris, fucking hoofball, load of shit, blah, blah, blah. If we've got the right players to execute a perfect Mill game plan, then it works very, very well. People argue Sheffield Wednesday was shit. Well, they beat Plymouth 4-0 and they've drawn against QPR and then QPR beaten Luton. So I watched Sam Allardyce on Under the Cosh. You're a patron of them, Joe. You're Under the Cosh.
Yeah.
And he said, football drives him mad these days. He said, all this passing around the back, which we worked out ain't for us anyway under Joe Edwards. It's not exciting football, it's possession football. Whereas the way he likes to play, he explained it's the same way that Neil Harris likes to play. He didn't say Neil Harris, but everything he said matched up. And he said, you get the ball in your positions off, and then you try and make things happen from there. Front foot, attacking football. It ain't always pretty, but it creates chances. And I think it was executed to perfection against Sheffield Wednesday. Pete, do you think?
100%, yeah, on the front foot. And the main thing for that is we had a proper number 9 in that game. A proper number 9 that could hold the ball, bring other players into the equation, pick the ball up, run with the ball. Not like, we're like Brothers is left, right. And the ball comes down the middle. He can't win a header. And they're punting balls up to him. Josh Coburn was like that number 9 that we craved for. Holds the ball, can win the ball, can run with the ball forward, knows what he's doing. And that was the major play of that, having a number 9 in that game. To hold the ball, bring the other players back into the game, give us a bit more time to get the players running forward. And that's what it's all about. And it's going to be a massive, massive miss. But the number 9, that good number 9, is always the secret, I think. You know, poor old we've had a lot of our, like Gregors, great player, but running the wings, never in the middle, kept running on the wing. There was never a main guy in the middle. But Josh Coburn didn't have to keep running left and right. He stayed in the middle where he should do. Ball was delivered to him. He held it, brought players into, and that's what makes the magic, as far as I'm concerned. Even
if he wasn't winning, he was winning a lot of headers. But even if he wasn't, he was getting enough on the defender or something where it would drop.
Yeah.
And then, as we've already said, the Norre and Saville were picking up them second balls. They've been honestly, I keep saying it. I think they've been fucking unreal, them two so far. Let's say what more than have most effective.
That Josh Coburn in that game was holding the ball up for them to come forward.
Yeah, exactly. Because the ball's going up and it's not coming straight back. So when it's there, you can kind of get the team up to people. And Joe, talking about the Sheffield Wednesday game, I felt personally, leading on to the Luton game, that it was going down the same route, obviously, until we lose Coburn, and then the whole fucking game plan goes to pieces. And one thing that's pivotal in that game plan as well is the long diags that everyone fucking moans about that Cooper does. But all of a sudden, they weren't looking so bad, them long diags, was they, when he had someone to hit and someone to make it stick?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also,
going back to the Sheffield Wednesday game quickly, though, like some people might say hoofball, like have the big man, but I felt like the game plan, everything about it was just perfect. We're not constantly hoofball. We play some really good stuff on the floor as well, even with the big man. As we're saying, he can hold the ball up with his feet still and bring others into play, whereas other strikers might have their first touch is a tackle. They can't trap the ball, hold it up, have a bit of strength. And so, I feel like we were starting the exact same way with Luton, promising off the back of the Sheffield Wednesday game.
Did he go off before they scored? Did he go off before they scored, Coburn? I think he did, didn't he? Or after? I can't remember. Someone let us know in the comments.
Who scored?
I don't remember, but...
No, Coburn went off, didn't he, against Luton? Did he go off before the Luton goal?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I can't remember.
But, I think that just knocked our game plan out the window as soon as Coburn was gone off.
It did. Right, so we're going to look. That was the starting 11 against Luton. Don't worry, it's not a post-match analysis. We've already done one of them, eventually, about 3 days late. I'm just going to look at this team that started there. And we're just going to go through the players individually. And we're going to talk. I mean, some of them are quite clear. We've already discussed it. But we're going to talk about how we feel each player's performed. Possibly, I'd say, out of 10, obviously, this season. So starting with Jensen, Pete, what would you give Jensen as like a rating out of 10 so far? Feel free to join in the comments.
I think he's grown. I know it's only 5 games, but first game, very nervous start. Second game, he give it the old big all that I like to command, come out, collect the ball and things like that. The second game, he could see he was nervous, but rightly so. After them, the last 3 games, I'll give him can I give him a 6.5?
I was going to say exact same thing.
6.5.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Telly's put 5. I thought you put 8. 7 after Watford. Cole Bracey, 7. All right. Listen, you both think he's 6.5. Yeah, I'm surprised Ted said 5.
Slightly above average.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to mark him down for right. So say you start as an average of 7. I would knock him down, obviously, to a 5 for the 2 Watford errors. I don't think he was at fault for any goal against Bristol City. I really, really don't. And I thought he made some good saves in the game. Then he got man of the match against Hull. Didn't have loads to do against Sheffield Wednesday. What he did, he had to do quite well. And then obviously against Luton again. I mean, that Luton goal, it's again, I don't like to talk about luck, but fuck me. It's exactly the same as the Watford winner, isn't it? A cross comes in from that exact same side. Someone throws themselves in front of it, takes a deflection, loops up. This time it don't land on the Watford striker's head, but it goes under the bar. I thought in real time it'd been headed off the line because the defender, I think Joe Bryan was there. But Jensen gets fist on it, manages to scoop out the goal. Another shot comes in, he stops it with his feet. And then the curler from the edge of the box, just a good goal. There was, we couldn't defend the Watford free kick, but with that goal, there was 3 players in his eye line, and Jacob Cooper fucking runs straight across it as a geezer, which Cooper's only trying to stop.
The amount of time and space that guy had on the ball, though, that scored the goal. No one near him, no one closing him down. That was my main take from that.
Because a few coming in here. Jim 6, Thomas Murphy 4, Fair enough.
West Ham fan, I think, Thomas Murphy.
He's what?
I don't. He went, I know where you live. I'm sure that's a relative of ours. That's a West Ham fan.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Is it? It must be. I see him put that, but I didn't know if he's talking to Pete. Or I didn't know he was messing around.
Is that you, Tommy? Is that you, Mr. Murphy?
Keeper 7. He improved after the Watford game. Yeah, I'd go down the middle. See, I wouldn't say 5's I suppose 5. He's an average, isn't it? A 10. I would say 7.
I'd say 6 point. I was taking 5 as an average back.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Yeah, maybe you're right. I would say 7 to 7.5. I would say, like, if in the newspaper you get marks as anything other than below a 7, it's seen as you've had, not a great game.
True. From that sense, yeah.
But, listen, everyone can interpret it how they want. Right. Next up, I mean, some of these probably aren't even worth doing. Ryan Leonard, as we know, he's just fucking quality. Just gets better and better and better. Once made a Lions TV all-time worst 11.
Yeah, I would say, Dave, score the whole back four, all the midfield and all the strikers.
Oh, no, we will. Go on, Ryan Leonard, boys.
Ryan Leonard, he ain't as good as last season. Been caught out a little bit, going too far forward. I'll give him a 5.5, Leonard.
Cool. Joe's gone cool.
I'd give him a 7. I think he's always, as he's just said, he has been caught out of position a couple of times recently.
I mean, he made that great save, three great saves at Wednesday game, didn't they?
Yeah. If it weren't for that,
the first goal against City, I was a little bit like, what does he do there?
He was out of position quite a lot in that game, wasn't he? Caught out quite a lot.
It was.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Listen out for that knock on your door, he says. See, I think everyone's got their own interpretations of scoring here. I would say 7 is pretty much an average-ish. On that basis, I'll probably give Ryan Leonard a 7 so far. Joe?
I'd say 7, yeah.
Yeah, and I think if I was to give a player a rating of 5 so far this season, I wouldn't have him in the team. But everyone can interpret it however they like. Okay, Jaffet Tanganga, Big Jaff.
8.
Yeah. An 8, yeah.
Yeah, strong 8 for me as well with Jaff. This one will be more controversial. I think if you got to mark Cooper with Tanganga and Cooper without Tanganga, they'd be fucking like that, the scores. But as a whole, Cooper, boys, what are we saying?
6.
Cooper 7.
I'd give Cooper a 7. I think he gets some unfair shit, and I think he showed with Tanganga next to him. This one could be the most controversial yet. Good job, Conor on the stream, because he sent it down the group chat. Joe Bryan's fucking shit. He had a really bad game against Leyton Orient, but the week before he had a good game. He's a tiny footballer. I don't think he's an out-and-out left back. He's more of a left wing back. But Joe Bryan, boys, I'm going to let you two go first and then make my decision from there.
I'd give him, based on his performances so far this season, a 4.
Ooh. You're not having him, no?
Nah.
5.
I like him. I think he'll get better, but I think he's had a bit of a shaky start. I know there's a player in there. He is a quality player, but so far a 4 for me.
We've got another 4 in there as well for Brian. Sorry, we're moving a bit quick. I will show some more in the comments. Brian 6. I'd go with a 6.5 out of 7 for Brian's he's a Cooper fan. Brian 5. So a lot of people are saying that Brian's been bang average. Yeah, I suppose on that basis, do I think he's been bang average? No. I think he's been, slightly better than average, I would say. So I'll go over 6. 6.5. What is that? Wild dog with a wooden spoon. I have no idea what that's about, mate. Paul Atkinson. How are you, mate? Manchester Lion for 5. See, some of you lot think I don't remember who you are.
Bracey 4. Ted Davies 5.
There you go. Teddy Davies a 5. He's obviously his housemate or something, and he's gone with a 10. Right. So as it stands, the standout player of the season for us all, I think there is Jaffet Tanganga. George Savile. The club posted something today on George Savile. It was like 10 years of Savs. He's been at the club 10 years. over the course of, I think, 4 spells, and he did leave once for Middlesbrough, saying Mill was a stepping stone for him in his career, but they went with it anyway. We need all the fucking encouragement we can get at a minute. George Saville this season.
8.
8 for me, yeah.
He seemed so we knew the type of player he was before he left Millwall, right? He was in a 4-man midfield, right? Sean Williams used to sit, Savs used to bomb on. They were brilliant, weren't they? They were the glory days. Jed Wallace one side, Ben Marshall the other. It gives me tingles thinking about it. And Morrow and Gregor's up front. And then he went away to Middlesbrough, and I think he was there 3 years, and he come back, he was more experienced, and they taught him to play in a different role, and he was under Rowett again, just telling you the facts, very deep, not the same type of player. But this year, I feel he's been more aggressive than ever, more on the front foot than ever, fitter than ever as well.
Yeah.
He's been fucking really good.
Yeah, but again, Dan, sorry to get back to it, but it's because he's gone, Mr. Muscle, and he's gone, and he's left that gap for them to move forward, yeah? That's why they've improved, I think. Because, because say, when I took the throw-ins, took the free kicks, running just stands around in there, he was blocking their path, basically, as far as I'm concerned. And now he's gone, they've got more movement for them to get forward in midfield. And I love it. Love it. So,
Did you say 8 as well, Joe?
Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
The other thing I love about Saville as well, right? Even if we've seen that spell of him where we're starting to see better of him this season, but even when he weren't getting forward as much, I love to see he's got a bit of aggression about him. He's got a bit of passion, like just little things like off the ball. Say there's like a scuffle or someone's fouled. He's the first person in the opposition's face having a go. And that's what I like about him. You need a player like that, not people that shy away and don't get involved. He's got that aggression, and he's a nuisance.
He's a little bit like, I always say this, I know Cooper's the captain if Hutchinson's not playing, so Cooper's pretty much the captain. But I feel that him and Savs are in tandem, and Savs are sort of a second skipper on the pitch. You need that player to look after, especially now we've got so many young players, and get in the refs here and win them experience, free kicks that Dennis Wise used to do so well. Savs is doing all that, isn't he?
That's what I love about him, yeah.
Just see someone put in the comments, Honeyman, for fuck's sake. We're not on Honeyman yet. But Savs, yeah. So Savs, all right, so who's been better then? Tang, for you two there, let me know on the screen, in the comments. You two are on the screen, you let me know. Who's been best so far then? Did you both give Tang an 8?
Do you know what? I'd have to give Saville simply for the fact that he's played 3 more games than Tanganga.
Like that. Do you think it's a bit more unexpected, Saville's form, Pete, than Tanganga? We was expecting what we got from Tanganga. Was we, like Teddy said a minute ago, his legs are starting to go.
Listen, of course it's unexpected because he's like whatever Neil Williams has said to him, like he said about Norre earlier, he's taking the reins off of them and saying, right, we want you. You remember Saville of old when he first played for us? He was always in the box. Emmy Coulson he used to get for us because he used to be a box-to-box player and he'd get in the box. He never done that under Rowett or anything like that. Now, for some reason, because, like I say, because he's gone the other guy, he's got more movement to go forward and he's getting in the box a little bit more as well. So, yeah, the range has been taken off, both him and Norre, and they're getting forward that little bit. Yes, I could see some boy in the comments that said his legs have gone a bit. Can agree with that to a certain respect. They had, and obviously not got the power to get box to box like he used to, but he's still a menace in there. And he's looking up, and I agree with Joe. He gets involved when it's an altercation and things like that, and that's what we like. Yeah. So, but I was going for Tanganga over Saville, even though that's.
And you go Saville over Tanganga so far, Joe?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, look, you can't shy away from the fact that, like we was all saying earlier, how much he's shored it up, Jaff, since he's come back. Big Jaff. We conceded 7, he come back, we drew 0-0. Then we won 3-0, and then we've lost 1-0. So we've conceded 1 goal in the league.
Goal, yeah.
On the side, is that right? I think that is right. Yeah.
It's got to be, yeah.
I know Saville, his age suggests that his legs are going, but I think he looks fitter than ever.
Yeah.
I think,
as you said, it's more the unexpected.
Yeah.
I'd give it like we know what we're getting from Tanganga. We know he's brilliant, but Saville's suddenly gone from this player that's sitting back and whatever, and now we're starting to see the Saville of old, even though he is older. He looks
the Saville of old.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can pretty much all agree that so far our best players this season have been Tanganga at the back, and so far Saville's in the lead, but he's only been the only central midfielder named. Casper de Ballon d'Or. Pete, you used to call him Casper de Boer, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I'm going to start by saying, right, I always refer back to this. He got subbed off against Plymouth away. You boys were there, aren't you?
Nah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, sorry. I thought you was. So he has to walk the nearest exit point to the pitch, which is over by the Plymouth fans. Then he walks around behind the goal and he gives it that one. Our fans go, what a fucking player. And I did used to take the piss and call him Casper de Ballon d'Or. And Pete did take the piss and call him Casper de Boer.
Yeah.
And now for the people going, see? Well, it's not see. He wasn't that good.
No,
but
he
now
wasn't. Like Fleming wasn't that good, right? You know, like again in the comments, good 6 months, but he's like come on leaps and bounds. Yeah, a complete different player from last season.
He couldn't get in. Like, I mean, he wasn't brilliant last season. Again, under Rowett left. Edwards comes in. Lots of fucking chopping and changing with managers. And then when Harris come in, as we know, Harris tried and tested Mitchell and Saville, and that was his preferred. And he hardly played the North, did he? And people weren't happy about it. But now Mitchell's injury at the start of the season has allowed him to finally get on the shortlist for that Ballon d'Or because he's been fucking brilliant, Joe, hasn't he?
Yeah. I'd give him, I want to say 8.5, pushing 9.
Ooh, big.
I agree with Joe.
What do you boys think have led to that? What's changed about Casper D?
You know, I'll go back to one thing, yeah. If you look at it might have been our third goal against Sheffield Wednesday, where I see him, if you look back at the highlights, maybe it was second or third, I'm sure it was third, but he picks up the ball in the middle of the park. He's there going, give me the ball, picks it up, sprays it out wide, and then he's running as well. He run into that space for Honeyman to play the through balls to him and then dinked it over. I was like, just looking at that alone, what he done in that one goal.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Also, Joe pointed on there, it reminds me of the Terry Urlock mode. He didn't do it last year. Terry Urlock, Dennis Wise. Whenever there's a throw-in to be taken, he goes, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Yeah. And that's what he does. He wants the ball. When he looks at it, distributes it.
He has got a good passing range. He has got a decent passing range as well.
And also, like I said, the reason for his change in form is because it's the muscles has gone. And that's it. He get forward. That's it. I'm sorry to mark on it.
You know what? Aside from Fleming going in, obviously, I did hear, I always say this as well, but I will say it again. I heard that Casper de Norre was actually, like, when he signed, was supposed to be our benchmark signing. And there was a rumour going around, he actually cost more than Fleming, which never got told that. So we're seeing things of that. So maybe Fleming going. I don't think de Norre's that type of player where he seems very honest to me.
Humble.
He's not flash, is he?
He covers a lot of ground, though, Dan, as well, doesn't he? He covers a hell of a lot of the ground.
But you know what? I think Saville and de Norre, and I think that was never more evident than when we started the comeback against Watford, is that the wingers are fucking getting down the wings and they're performing. So, I mean, if you're down the wings or a ball's going into Coburn and things are sticking, then there's space to travel into because the opposition aren't camped in your half. The opposition are fucking 40 yards back that way. So you've got the distance to travel. It's like anything. Like we'll get onto the Langstaff later. The more you do it, the more you fucking get used to doing it. It becomes second nature. Confidence grows, and you just, before you know it, it's Casper de Ballon d'Or pushing fucking Messi out of the way for the trophy. Do you know what I mean? It's hope so. Anyway.
The muscles has gone.
Do you know? I don't know if you know, Pete. He started up front for Burnley against Leeds, striker.
Yeah, I see that.
He was up front as a striker on his own.
No.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got subbed, but he started up front. He started up front. They won 1-0, didn't they?
Yeah. Took him off though, didn't they?
Yeah, has Mr. Muscle's got
to be in his bonnet, isn't
he? Oh dear. So yeah, everyone's saying that Casper de Norre's got a bit of Dennis Wise about him. He's got a little bit of Terry Urlock about him. I think it was you, Pete, that told me. I think it was you last year. You went to me. I fucking walked around the ground, and Casper de Norre came out, and he's fucking like that big. Was it you?
I've never seen him. No.
Someone said he's a tiny geezer, but.
Yeah.
Oh, stop sitting on the fence, Pete, about Fleming. Say what you fucking think. Right. Now, this one is definitely going to cause a stir. So we can both agree that the best three players so far in our season has been George Saville, Casper D, Ballon, Dior, and Big Jaff Tanganga at the back. George Honeyman in a 10. Now, I'm going to start by saying, I kept saying, if you don't fucking switch Watmore and Esse, well, first off, I said, them two are shot to bits. And if you're going to play him on the wings, play him on the opposite wings. And Honeyman can't play on a 10. Someone commented on my YouTube comments earlier, I think. We're going to talk about George Honeyman now. And someone said, he's fucking scored 1 goal in 90 games. How the fuck is he playing in a 10? And I said, Gaffer, if you play fucking Honeyman in a 10 against Sheffield Wednesday, we will not win. And we did, and he was brilliant. But he's not a 10, is he?
No. Well, what is he then? He ain't a winger. Maybe.
Well, he's a left winger, right winger, 10. But I think
he's more where Saville or Norre should be.
He's a central midfield player.
Yeah.
But he's got that versatility, which, of course, we know that we like at Millwall as a whole, because sometimes our squad might be a bit light. So if you've got a fucking Ryan Longman or you've got a Andre, I mean, Andreas Volsammer, did he ever play up front for us? He was a striker. Ryan Leonard's playing right back, can play centre back. Ryan Leonard was actually a box-to-box midfielder. So for me, George Honeyman in this 10, is it the right position for him? And what would you give him so far out of 10?
I'd say a 6.5. Because it's a weird one, because sometimes I look at him and go, why is he in this team? He doesn't offer anything. And then he might have another game where I'm like, oh, Honeyman's been quality. So he's so like...
He's very workmanlike. He can't shoot for toffee. Yes. You've seen that. Yeah. So I've always criticised his final ball, and I can think back to 3 or 4 instances this season where he's put great balls in and assisted goals. He's a little terrier, though. Do you know what? It's weird, because all I do is probably not all I do. I slag Honeyman off quite a lot, but I fucking really like him.
You know what?
If we want to get to this next level that Pete's talking about, playoffs, you're not going to get to the playoffs with George Honeyman in the 10. That's going to get clipped up, by the way, when we're in the playoffs, mate.
But you know what I've got to say is if you notice off the ball, like he's a battler. Yes. He will run someone down and go for him, hammer and tong. And I feel like, I know we said it about Saville, but I think he's similar in that way a bit, got that bit of aggression about him, a bit tenacious. And for the Millwall style team, what everyone likes to say, I think in a way, you kind of need players like that.
You do. And we love it. We love that, Mill, but you can't have all those types of players. You do need...
Yeah.
Although I'm with Pete a little bit, you do need a Mr. Muscle can pour a bit of magic out his arse sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just showing... Sorry, just before we carry on with the Honeyman, but this sums it all up. Honeyman is not a 10, I'd rather start Macca. We will talk about the forgotten man in a minute. But then this boy's John Robertson, Honeyman 3. Mill Jim, 10 out of 10 for work rate, that's for sure. It's one that's definitely controversial. It's definitely a talking point, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Russell Southgate said chalk and cheese. Exactly, that's what I sort of think about him.
It's a little bit like when you're at school when you're not that clever.
Yeah.
Like the teacher knows you try hard. Honeyman works hard, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah.
When he probably should be getting less, but because he works so fucking hard, and it seems to be one of them as well, really invested in, like, it shouldn't matter, but he seems like a really fucking good bloke as well. Like, you see him doing bits for the club on the videos. He seems like quite like upbeat and up for a laugh, but it doesn't really matter if you want results on the pitch. But he has done really well at points this season. He got man of the match in one game. I can't remember which one it was. But he got man of the match. So come on, Joseph, before we move on to your dad, Honeyman out of 10, did you tell me?
Yeah, 6.5.
Oh, sorry, mate. You did 6.5. I'm going to give him a 7 for effort for his own work. Yeah.
7 for me.
7 for Honeyman.
Yeah.
He was good till Luton. 7. He's an engine. I mean, we're all agreeing he's a grafter. He's an engine. But I suppose you have to incorporate that in what you think of players performed wise. But is it? I mean, we haven't not really. I was about to say, is the reason we haven't scored many goals, but we have, haven't we? Only with 7.5 work rate, second to none, lacking creativity. I think he's got the ideas sometimes, but he can't execute. I mean, he missed an open goal against Watford, hit the post, didn't he? He hit the post again, I think, against Pompey, or missed one.
Yeah, he's had a couple of sitters. But you know what, though? For that ball, going back to that goal I mentioned against Sheffield Wednesday, that ball that he played to Norre, where he got on the edge of the byline and chucked it in, I was like, oh, that was brilliant. The way he picked out Norre.
Yeah, I mean, he's
got a decent delivery on him, though, isn't he?
He has like one, and the next one he'll fucking kick it in the stand or kick it someone who's not there, and then he's back to doing something good again. Do you know what I mean? Slightly inconsistent. There you go. On cue. I mean, and a lot of people saying, and it's not his fault. He shouldn't be playing in a 10. He's been playing on the wing in a 10. Obviously, Fleming started the season injured, allegedly, Pete. But let's leave Fleming alone. Right, wings. Where do you want to start, boys? Duncan Watmore, Romain Esse. I think the outcome's the same, really, isn't it? They both exceeded my expectations. Let's start with Big Dunk on the left wing.
Eminence. Again, he's when he puts his head down and he causes problems, doesn't he? And he's got, 3 goals, is he?
5.
More than that. 5.
Well, Jesus Christ.
Scored 2 against Watford, 1 against...
He gets in the right positions, doesn't he?
Bristol City.
Yeah.
He scored 2 against Bristol City. No, it was Esse, Bradshaw and Watmore,
I'm sure Watmore scored 5 goals.
He scored against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think
Sheffield Wednesday, Bristol City, and 2 against Watford.
Yeah.
No.
I personally think a lot of these players that come in, especially when they do their first season with us, it takes them a year to settle in, right? And then once they settle in, they come back, become good the next season. And I think that's happened with Honeyman and Watmore and Norre.
I thought Watmore started really well for us. He was in that run where we relegated Black. I mean, I spoke about my preview earlier. He scored on his first start at White QPR, didn't he? He set up Bradshaw a brilliant through ball, and I think he scored one as well away at Blackpool. I was buzzing when we signed him. I thought he was a great player, and he just seemed to really go after the ball. And I think we know it. Confidence is a big thing for all players, but wingers especially. I can't remember if he fell out of favour with Harris last year. He got injured. But he's come back, new Barnett, new man this season, isn't he?
I just see someone wrote that.
Probably. He's like, his hair's not ginger anymore, is it? It's like De Bruyne Barnett, and he's fucking scoring goals like him and all. Not that De Bruyne scores anymore. Yeah. So if you had to rate Watmore,
I'm going to give a 9.
A 9. So I don't think he's been brilliant, but you can't, as an overall performance in matches. Watford, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And he turns up, like I was saying earlier, opposite to Honeyman. He turns up and scores big goals at big moments, and he's sort of like a new Mr. Muscles with a new Barnett.
Yeah, it's like last season, like I weren't a big fan of him, but this season, I've been like, what's that? He just for the goals alone, like he's provided like a lot of goals, and I know my pet hate about him is he don't look up when he's got the ball. He's got his head down. But besides that, he always seems to get somewhere. He gets into a dangerous position.
See that work salad comment?
What?
Said Pete's talking word salad.
You know that's from, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I only know because of you lot. It's word it on the Acton Mill podcast and Neil Fizzler, wasn't it? Word salad, mate, or something. I didn't know what it was, and I think Kieran kept saying it. I was like, "What are you on about?" He's like, Neil Fizzler cracked me up. He's on the Acton Mill podcast, and he said something like they were talking about saying Neil Fizzler went, "It's all fucking word salad." I was like, "It's great, isn't it?" That's a good saying. Oh, fucking hell. So, Pete, take the tomato and lettuce out your mouth. What do you think of Duncan Watmore's performance out of 10?
I'm close to Joe. I won't give him a 9. I'll give him an 8.5.
Yeah, you got for the goals. For goals more than all round assists.
Yeah,
maybe I'll be a bit
got a
harsh.
couple of assists as well, though, isn't he? Sure he has.
I don't know, mate. Fuck, it's all blurs into one these days, isn't it? New haircut, new man, says Millwall Jim. Right, we're going to move on because people have already started doing it without our say so. I would say, for me so far, most surprising performances of the season will go between Watmore and Norre, and well, they have done. And here's one that could fall in the same bracket as well. Romain Esse. I went and said he wasn't at the level and don't think he ever would be. He responded by scoring against Portsmouth, against Bristol City, playing really well against Bristol City as well, assisting the goal. And he's looked, I mean, the first game of the season, mate, he did things with football that I can't describe, and not in a good way. But he seems to really be benefiting from this run of games, and he's an exciting young talent. Just signed a contract extension, and long may he continue to prove me wrong, boys. Romain Esse.
Go on.
Me, okay. Romain Esse. I'm excited by that boy. Very, very excited. I'll tell you what, when I see him playing his bit part last season, I thought he'd come on and he wasn't doing enough for me. Apart from that Middlesbrough game, first game of the season, he'd come on and I thought, come on, boy, you've got to take your chance here. You're in the first team, and he just wasn't consistent enough. Maybe that's down to not getting the run in the team like he's had this season. And since he started nearly all the games now, isn't he, right? For me, he's only going to get better and better and better, right? And I'm very, very excited about this boy. He's definitely got to be, people like me, he's got to be 10 mil plus, this boy, because he is a talent and it'll be proved. Neil's giving him, I'm really surprised that Neil Harris is giving him a chance and playing him so many games. He obviously believes in his talent, but he is, if you see some of the things he does, yes, he goes missing in and out of game, but you could see that he's got something, that boy, 100%. SA would be, for me, an 8, definitely.
Joe?
I'm an 8 as well. I think he can go missing at times, but he's more of a luxury player, isn't it? They all sort of do that. And I think, as you've just said, the giving him a consistent run in the team is doing him a world of good. And I just think he's going to go on and be better and better. And
yeah,
he's so exciting when he picks up the ball. Some of the stuff he does, like gets a crowd on their feet. And that's the sort of thing we want to see. So very excited going forward with him. For now, an 8.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'd give him 8, and probably the most surprised I've been with a player this season. Watmore's had that championship quality about him before. I knew that before we signed him. He's got back to that. Norre we signed for a lot of money, but he still exceeded my expectations. But for someone I just absolutely was not expecting, I fucking sent it in videos, I can't hide from it, was not expecting it from his Romain Esse. Bear in mind, someone just said they got his spot on apart from the Watford game. So it's only been, if you want to count the Pompey game, it's only been 5 games. I'm not fucking talking him down. I don't want him to be shit. But what I've been most impressed with him, not just his, if you see the goals he scored against Bristol City and against Portsmouth, he scored a very similar one last season away at Coventry, where he cuts in and he just seems very calm and relaxed, and he just don't thrash it, people in front of him. He just sort of cuts in, boom, changes the direction of the football. But aside from all that, I was worried that in a Millwall team, like you said, Joe, he's a luxury player, wouldn't be able to do those defensive duties. And I thought, I think he went down with cramp a couple of times against Bristol City. He's fucking.
I think it was Sheffield Wednesday. I might be wrong, but there might have been 2 games where I've actually seen him driving back and getting involved defensively.
He's
as well.
really scored that side of his game, which you have to do in a Millwall side.
And how about the headers he's been winning?
Yeah, he wins headers as well when the ball goes.
Here's a question, because we've only got really Coburn to cover. And then, mate, we're only about halfway through the show, by the way. I spent about 3 hours making graphics earlier, so I titled them all up. I'll give you 2 a 20-minute debrief before we started, didn't I? And it's still a complete shit show like it usually does. Kind of right. I was going to say, I've forgotten now. Esse, people saying, why is he not playing in the comments? I can see it. All right, he's brilliant, and he's really come on leaps and bounds, and he's brilliant, and Neil Harris is giving him his chance. But why the fucking hell was he not playing in a 10? Because I think that's his actual position. Again, what his actual position, I think it is.
Really?
I think that's where he plays for England under 19s or wherever he is.
I'll be shocked.
I'm a bit undecided with this one, because a few games back, or like in pre-season, I'd be like, yeah, bang, a 10. But he has such a good effect on the wing as well. He's got the room to sort of like drive at players and get in the box.
I agree.
Whereas sometimes in the 10,
you
might not get that as such. So I think he's a top quality player. I think he could do both. I'll be happy with him in either, put it that way.
Do you think, Pete, it might be Neil Harris believes in him, but it might be a bit too much too soon to whack him in that 10 and try and make him the main man?
No, definitely not. How old is Esse?
19.
19. You know, you chat to another bird before we started, a 20-year-old.
He's 19.
Striker, right? Come on, if they're 18, they're 19, and they're good enough, they should be in the team.
Yeah.
I think he's ready now. I think he's more than ready. Yes, if we need to change with the 10, but who's going to take his place on the right-hand side?
Maku.
Would you swap Honeyman around with him?
Aziz?
I think my perfect thing would be, no, it wouldn't happen, have Aziz one wing, Imaku the other wing, and Esse in the 10.
Yeah.
Bit of pace, skill, agile, young players.
As much as I'd like that, and I agree with you, I do feel that at this point, especially where we are now, struggling, but
that's why I feel
young players to perform a lot week in, week out as a trio, isn't it? But again, looking for the future, imagine that.
Yeah.
Not that fucking Maku's in the flavour of the month anywhere. But Russell Southgate says, Pete, you're right. I don't know if he's talking about Mr. Muscle or something else, but you're right. I mean, and finally, look, we're going to just round off, but it's not really worth covering him, is it? Because it was only his second game. But Josh Coburn, we spoke about earlier, was everything that we wanted and craved. And he hit fucking maximum, didn't he, in that game? And then it's now looking, which will lead us on nicely to my next graphic, not so good for the foreseeable future. But that's the bench on Saturday. Because we're going to move on to now players we've signed. They've been getting on, and there's a couple here that really confused me. Yeah. So Roberts, goalkeeper, fair enough. McNamara could play left or right back, fair enough. Hutchinson cover at centre back, we get that. No Wes Harding still, noticed that. Femi Aziz, new signing at the minute, can't get in. Ryan Wintle is one that's fucking we'll get onto it in a minute. Daniel Kelly, same position as Wintle, who we fought to for now to get here early from Celtic and then signed Wintle as well. Macaulay Langstaff is still going to play a big part in the show. Idemo Maku, we've touched on, and Callum Scanlon. Right, let's start with Femi Aziz, boys. He hasn't really had his opportunity, in my opinion, because the wingers have been performing, and rightly so. You have to wait your time, you have to wait your chance. But I thought he looked all right. What I've seen of him, he needs a run. But against Luton, he's definitely got that eye for, I'm driving forward, I'm getting balls in the box, that's it. End of story, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Is that a Mill type player? Yeah.
Well, driving forward with a ball like an Eiffel or a Stephen Reed.
Exactly like an Eiffel, yeah, exactly what I was thinking myself.
Down the wing. Again, a player that gets you off your seat. You know when he gets the ball, he's going.
Yeah.
He's going down that line. And he come on a cameo appearance against Luton. I thought he was excellent.
I thought he was good against. Someone said to me, he's shit. I thought he looked good against Luton when he came on.
I thought he was excellent when he came on.
I think we've only seen spells of him, really. I'm impressed with what I've seen of him. But
again, that final ball that he might not have got right or whatever, that will come in time. He not just needs time to adapt to the division and time to build confidence, but also working out how to play with his fucking teammates.
If he's just going to hit the ground running and be this top player, someone else would have bought him for millions. You're forgetting what we're playing with here. So,
but when you said, Pete, as well, I know you're saying about Eiffel, and I said, is Aziz that Millwall type player? In that team, that Eiffel, Reed, Kinney, Harris, they was all in. Cahill, we was in a fucking good championship, winning the league winning side, a championship winning side. Whereas, like we said with Esse, he's looked good going forward, but his defensive duties he's sorted out. Because not so much now the Neil Harris, but our wingers, that's why he plays, I think, Watmore on the left and Esse on the right, because they have to tuck in. We don't really do this byline all-out attack because do we undersell ourselves a bit in that sense? Should we take the shackles off a bit more and go, fuck it, we got the players, let's go for it? Because we are, even under Harris, we're always cautious in this division, no matter who's in charge, aren't we?
I don't think we have been under Harris this time. I think he's like Rowett. playing the boring football. Harris was like that in his first spell, right? In my opinion. And I think Harris has come back, and I know people go, I've learnt a lot, and I've learnt that. I know he got the sack from a few clubs, but I think he's getting that mindset about being a more attack-minded team. Yeah. Also thinking in the back of his mind, he's got to defend. Of course you have. But I see his brand of football this time around. I know it's only the 5 games all in, and we know he had to come in the last few games of the season and stop us from conceding, goal and losing. He had to keep us in the division. But now we're starting on a fresh foot. I see he's changed in a way that we look at the goals he scored. I think we look more exciting going forward than we've ever done in years.
Yeah.
And I think Neil Harris has sort of changed his sort of format or his beliefs and go, you know what, let's have a go at these teams. I mean, how many times we have it where teams come down, like the Norwiches, the Leeds and all that, and they have all the possession, and we rely on the breakaway. I don't think you're going to find that. Leeds will come and have a go at us, but we'll have a go at them back. We won't be sitting back on them, especially at home. I reckon Neil was going to take the shackles and go, right, come on, tit for tat. You score one, we score one.
I agree with a lot of what you said, but the only thing that sticks out to me in that order is why is he playing Honeyman in the 10? Because that screams to me, be a bit more defensive, be a bit more compact.
I think he's...
Go on, Joe.
Yeah, I think he's just being cautious. Like, it's all right. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's being a little bit cautious.
Like, look at the injuries we got at the minute. Like, on paper, I'm looking like the likes of Aziz. How old is he?
23.
23. You look at Aziz, you look at Imaku, Ivanovic, Esse, Kelly, and the forgotten man, Adam Mayer. They're all like early 20s, late teens. That is a solid group of attacking players there going forward. But I don't think that he's just going to go, yeah, go on, throw them all in at once.
Like I just said to you, like that's a great
thing that you said.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a good point. And maybe that's why he's doing. Maybe he's thinking in the future, maybe he's protecting them and thinking, look, all right, Honeyman, I know ain't a 10, and I know he's not got the greatest fucking creativity, but I can't go and put fucking Aziz, Mayer, Imaku, Esse. I can't go and throw them all in the team. It would probably, as much as I don't want to say, it probably would be a disaster. Like, you know what I mean? We go 2-0 down the game, and you're relying on a load of inexperienced flair players to try and pull you back in. It's probably not going to work, is it? But again, in the comments, people saying, I think, is that Kieran?
Kieran's one cracks me up when I see that. Just straight
to the toilet. Well, the jury's out, and look, the jury's out, and rightly so, because he hasn't started. Or we started one game against Leighton already. He actually fell over, didn't he, for their goal? But he needs time, probably 10 games before he can be judged. I went to do a post on this over the international break, and then I got distracted by something else. I can't remember what it was, and I didn't put it out. Adam Mayer came to the club under Joe Edwards. And then he got played a few substitute appearances and he got injured. Then obviously he came back and then Edwards got sacked. Harris came in, was doing a rescue job, so Mayer didn't get a look in. And then he got another little niggling injury. And then over the summer, during the off-season, it says, I don't know exactly what, but he ended up having done another injury. Maybe he did it like, I know he was at like a training camp in Dubai. I see on his Instagram, you know, they all go out and do these fitness things.
Yeah.
But he ended up having to have an operation. He's nearly back. He just got voted for like a Young Player of the Year award, didn't he, somewhere?
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
But he's back. I see him put on his Instagram story the other day a picture up of him training, a little clock saying not or nearly ready or something like that. So, Kieran's throwing his out into the ring.
He's in the Amalfi Coast at the minute watching.
It's all right for some, isn't it?
Yeah. Just got back from Benidorm 3 days later, Amalfi Coast.
I was about to say, you must be paying him too much, Pete, but he don't work for you, does he?
No, he works for another big company.
Oh, does he? You're obviously not paying you any rent then. He's obviously not paying you any rent for all that holiday money. Right, next up. Same Barnett, Daniel Kelly. Look, we fought tooth and nail to get him to the club. I'm hearing a long-term replacement for George Saville, and Celtic didn't want to let him go. I understand why the club wanted to get him in now, to be around the place. Like we say, player comes in, they need time to settle so he can come be around it, be settled. He's not played in the 21s at all, I don't think, because we didn't the other day. They lost 4-1 to Birmingham. I'm looking into that a little bit later on. You still all right to keep going, boys, because we've got loads to get through yet. But yeah, Kelly, look, again, a Millwall player, not a loanee. Done really well during the international break with Scotland under 21s or whatever it is, under 19s. Looks about 12 years old, but I like the look of what I saw against Leighton. And again, he's going to need time, but it's another exciting one to add to the list, isn't it, Joe? Like you were saying, of young players coming into the team, becoming full-time Millwall football players.
Yeah, it's a big one to look forward to, I think. Personally, I don't think we're actually going to see much of him this season, which sort of a question, well, why bring him in? But then you've kind of answered that for me, what you've just said. Just him
rushing to get him in. Why? Yeah.
Being in and around the team, getting a bit of experience. I think he'll play like bit part subs, might come on. Who knows? If he majorly impresses in some of these sub appearances, he could break through and be a starter. But I don't think we're going to see him be a mainstay at any point this season.
No,
might be wrong, but
yeah, well, he's to come back after the international break, and whether people like really, I think he's a good player. Some people don't, but we know that Neil Harris does really like him and Saville. It does work with them too, whether people like it or not. So
yeah,
another name is going to be above him. It's going to be another name is going to be above him in the pecking order. And again, I've just thought about this as well, Pete. We just signed Kelly, full time, as we said, from Celtic. He was languishing in their Lowlands League reserve, so obviously in a bad situation. They wanted to get him out. But we've also just given another player in that position, just popped into my head, Alfie Massey, a new long-term contract. I thought he would have gone out on loan on deadline day. So now you've got Massey, Kelly, Mitchell, Wintle, Saville, and Norre. Do you feel that we signed too many players in like one position, or are we getting the balance right for now and the future?
I think they're all two similar type players. Do you know, like, I don't know about, obviously not about the young Scottish boy or Alfie Massey come to that. I'm not seeing them, so I can't really judge on that. But if you're looking at the likes of Mitchell, Norre, Saville, they are similar type players, aren't they? Do you know, like where you've got like a driving midfielder that will pick up the ball and run with it. I know they've started to adopt that sort of thing, Saville and Norre now, but I think they're all two. Last year they were sideways players, now they're forward sort of type players. But like I said, I'm not too sure about the young ones. I ain't seen enough of them to see whether they're similar vein of Norre and Saville, or where they like to drive forward with the ball. But I just think we needed that one a little bit more magic in midfield, maybe.
Well, for me, look, you've got Alfie Massey, who's got a new contract, looking promising for the future. For me,
have you seen him, Dan?
I've seen bits of him. He's a very similar. He's a Millwall type player. He's not to compare. He's a Ben Thompson type player, where he gets stuck right in. He's for his age, like the maturity he shows. He don't take no shit. He gets stuck in, tough tackling. He's not, from what I've seen, he might grow into it, but not really like a creative midfielder. Make more of a protect the back four, win the ball, and distribute it. But if you say you got Massey, that will probably go out on loan, but then you still got, say at the minute, Kelly and Mitchell as backups for Norre and Saville, because they're going to be first choice at the minute, because they're there, as we've all agreed, are playing really well. But then we go out and sign this guy, and this guy, I don't even know much of him. I don't know anything about him. He just gives me the I'm sorry, but he does. He looks like one scruffy bastard as well. He looks like one soapy, scruffy bastard. I don't want to be horrible, but it's just, he probably thinks, shut up, you fat prick. But he just looks like a fucking complete scruff, doesn't he? Like, look, why have we signed this guy? I cannot understand it.
He's got to be Scouse, isn't he? Where's he actually from?
He's going about Oasis the other day. I was saying, fuck knows. But he actually gives me the But I've had to keep remembering his first name. I don't know why he gives me the He's made one substitute appearance. But if we've just said we've got two central midfielders on fire with two youngsters there waiting in the wings, learning the ropes, developing, and then you've got Mitchell, which is in between both of those. Billy's played over 100 EFL games, 23 years old. Why have we gone out and signed a 6-1? I thought Neil Harris might have managed him at Cardiff. He didn't, apparently. I don't know if it plays into this head of recruitment thing where, again, referring back to Sam Allardyce, sorry.
Name me one player in the Championship that's a driving midfield player. I mean, because I don't know many of them, to be honest with you, that can, rather than go side with the ball, can drive forward with the ball. Can you name me a player?
They're all really now. They're more like little winger types, like Gustavo Hamer, but he's not really a central midfielder. People like that. They can drive forward and be Connor. Is it O'Hare?
Oh, yeah.
Callum O'Hare. Callum O'Hare. He's just gone to Sheffield United from Coventry.
Yeah.
But again, you're looking at fucking 10 million, something like that, minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this Wintle is a tough tackling, protect the back four, central midfielder. So for me, I would say we are perfectly poised there. Now we've got Saville and Norre who are playing out their skin, and then you've got Mitchell coming back to push them two, and then right behind him, you've got Kelly and Massey coming through. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why we've gone and signed Scruffy Bollocks.
Do you know what?
Scruffy Bollocks and Mr. Muscle.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing having strength in depth in that area, but the problem we've got, I think it should have been spent in other areas. Like centre backs now, if we lose one of them, you're kind of tight, ain't you? Striking options, well, we thought, we've got 4. 3 of them are injured.
I know.
We're tight there now.
I'm open for opinions.
Don't worry, 3 of them can get injured. We'll be all right.
Steve is saying, I'm going to need them all over 46 games once. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. I do agree on that, but I don't know.
Then we're light in other areas.
Too many DMs. You said something else there, Steve. I can't find it now. Well, you said, has anyone seen or know a lot about this Wintle? Because he can't get in Cardiff side, they're bottom of the table. Not that, like Kenny rightly said, though, just because they're bottom of the table, it means they might play a completely different way to us, and he might fit into our style.
Reminds me a bit of signing George Evans.
Oh, no one that gave me nightmares. When I die, I think you can have George Evans, Ryan Woods, Jordan Archer, and George Long all there waiting to kick the shit out of me at the gates of hell.
And Fleming.
That's for me. You can throw Shane Ferguson in and make that a 5. They're going to kick fuck out of me and push me through the door into the burning embers of hell. Steve, I don't know where that's come from. He is back up for Honeyman. We're doing exactly the same, buzzing around, being horrible to play against. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying he isn't. I'm not saying that. I'm open for people to tell us something about this guy. Steve knows a lot about him. Shock. Steve's a wealth of knowledge. He was their captain as well. Yeah, but a new manager can come in. It can't,
Booted off the supermarket.
Booted off supermarket sweep.
Dale Winton's lunch.
He's gone wild in the aisles. But you also said, mate, that he played 46 games last season.
No way.
Well, they changed managers, didn't they? And I don't know. I'd love to hear some opinions from a Cardiff fan, really. But again, I feel like I'm already discussing it too much, and I probably don't want to hear from a Cardiff fan because I don't think you're going to see him hardly fucking play for us.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Is he on loan, Dan, or is he signed?
Loan.
He's on loan. He's one of the ones that are on loan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on loan. This is the one I've been with, another loanee, and I'm sure we've all seen it either in the comments on the live stream today, or you've been sent this Instagram post that I've been sent. Callum Scanlon, a left back, again, that I wasn't sure we needed. But a lot of people don't agree with me on that, and that's absolutely fine. I think we've got Joe Bryan, who does a job at this level. I think you had cover in Danny McNamara, who does better at left back, he does at right. And I think he's done really well since Harris has been back. And I'm going to say, obviously, Murray Wallace is still on the contract. And I think that this void has been filled due to Nino Adam Malaki doing his ACL in pre-season. Callum Scanlon on loan from Liverpool. I'm not going to put it on the screen, right? I'll put this on the screen. But if you haven't seen it today, I'm not stirring any shit. I'm not putting out there anything that hasn't already been put out there. Callum Scanlon put out an Instagram post on his personal Instagram today and then deleted it. But you know what social media is like. It's been screen grabbed, sent everywhere. And on that Instagram post, he said that he is out for 4 months injured. Another one bites the dust, boys. I shouldn't be laughing because I feel bad for him. But we've signed 3 players on deadline day or the day before. 4. One of them's Ryan Wintle and the other 3 are now injured. What is going on? It's obviously happened in training as well because it hasn't happened in the game.
I don't know much about all this stuff, but what happens when that happens? Then are we liable for his wages for the next 4 months? Are we liable for the other guy's wages that's out for 4 months? Or
one thing I definitely can tell you is he won't be hanging around at Millwall to get treatment. He'll go back to Liverpool, won't he? Because they'll fucking. I can guarantee their medical fucking facilities are better than ours. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think we still needed him though, because I get what you're saying with McNamara and he can go either side. But I think Joe Bryan, I've not been majorly impressed with him this season. We know he's liable to an injury.
Yeah.
If Joe Bryan gets injured or Ryan Leonard, which I think both are capable of getting long to, I know he had a solid season last year, Ryan Leonard, but his track record before, right? 2 of them are gone. Say one of the 2 of them are gone. You've then got, then it will be Scanlon.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Murray Wallace out of the equation for me.
Yeah, I'm not sitting here saying to you all, listen, fucking Joe Bryan's brilliant. Danny McNamara, how is he not getting in the side? What a fullback. I do understand what people were saying, and again, Scanlon would have been one that probably would have got in, but I think only at points when Bryan was injured.
Yeah.
But I just feel that Mr. Muscle's gone. We need something in that. The money we've paid for Wintle and we've paid for Scanlon, the wages combined, surely we could have got a forward, a 10 to replace Fleming. I don't know. I know Fleming went against the club's will. They posted that they wanted to keep him when he wanted to move on. But I just think
it might be January they spend that then.
If we're sitting here in a fucking bar full of pound notes, then fucking get him in. We're not, are we? And I just think that, all right, Scanlon, he ain't going to be on. Well, probably is. Probably wouldn't surprise me. We're probably on 15, 20 grand a week at Liverpool at that age. And then Wintle, if he's on sort of 10, you've got sort of 25 grand a week there potentially. You could have gone, right, we'll make do there because it's not a fucking game-changing part of the pitch, is it? And we won't go with Wintle because we've got enough there. So let's use that money combined and let's get someone we need for there. That's my way of thinking. But I do get what you're saying. Regardless now, he's injured. Unbelievable. Right, let's continue with the injured thing then. We don't need to speak about Josh Coburn because we've actually done that now, haven't we? So let's talk about this fucking saga. Now I'm a little bit wound up. He's old man, mate. If I fucking going to strangle him if I ever see him. Fucking Twitter account, honestly. Ivanovic signed, announced the next day as soon as we luckily got a result. Again, so I think that's probably why they chose to post it when they did. We beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-0. After the game, he gets told he's out 6 to 8 weeks. Then he goes on international duty and he's seen training with the Serbian national side. And then he pulls out and he comes home and he's got his old man. If you don't know, his old man's on Twitter and he's also his agent. And you got all these fucking numbskulls on Twitter like engaging with him and he's replying to them all and they're all going, thank God for this geezer. He's a godsend, this bloke. I actually put a post up and removed it because I can't be bothered to argue with idiots. His dad's basically put a video up of him at the club before anyone even knew he was signing. Then he had to remove it all. Then the next day he's put it all back up. Then he's going, well, we're doing this, he's doing that. He's with the Serbian side. He's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. He ain't fucking Serbian Park football, mate. Wind your neck in and let the club announce what's going on with his fucking future. You don't need to be doing it. That's my thoughts on it anyway.
Where is the guy?
Where is this guy? Oh, he's in Trafalgar. He was in Trafalgar Square the other day with his dad. I fucking saw him put that up as well. And people was going to me, why don't you wind your neck in, you fucking idiot? And I'm like, surely people can see. Well, they can't because some of them are thick, especially on Twitter. No offense if you like Twitter. This is damaging to our football club. It's a record signing, all right? He's rocked up. He's got, and I'm excited about this signing, but he's got no pedigree, no previous. He's done this, he's done that, which is good. Again, we've took the chance. We've paid this money for him. He's rocked up injured. Okay, that's fair enough. He's rocked up injured. But everything that's gone on after that in going away with Serbia, which was out of the club's hands, I'm not blaming the club for any of this. I'm blaming fucking him and his old man, really. Fucking prick. Anyway, he'll probably end up scoring 30 goals a season. I'll invite his old man round for dinner. But, boys, is it me? Just me? Have you seen this situation that's gone on? Do you find it almost like a Benny Hill show? Like what is going on?
The whole saga is doing my head in at this point. Something don't stem right because you've got all that about him being out for 6 to 8 weeks, yeah? And then he goes off with the Serbian national team. And then it's like, oh, no, he's seen a specialist in London. And now all of a sudden, I'm sure I read somewhere a couple of days ago that he might be ready for this Saturday.
Do you know what is going on? Then earlier.
I'm sure someone...
Harris excited about his attributes or something. Fuck no. But I mean, even, look, rightly or wrongly, I'm slagging his old man off and it does seem like a shit show. But it's putting unfair and unnecessary pressure on the player now as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he might be back. Oh, he's going to be this. He's going to do that. He's gone with Serbia. He's a big lump, yes, but let's not forget, he's only 19 years old. He's clearly being badly advised. I just find the whole thing, it's a classic example to me of this could only happen to us. Couldn't it?
The problem as well, what I'm thinking is, when I'm hearing these rumours he could be available for Saturday, why is it 2 weeks ago we're hearing out for 6 to 8 weeks, right? Are they trying to rush him back too early because of our other injury problems? And then if they do rush him back early, out for 6 months, right? I just can't keep up with it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and like people saying, this is our fucking football club. It's a record signing. What the fuck? Like, get it under control. Someone say to his old man, get your fucking phone and delete Twitter. Stay off it, you prick.
Yeah.
Like, look, listen, make no mistake. People, my opinions or your opinions, the club will not fucking like this. And Neil Harris will not like it. Pete, have you seen what's going on?
No, mate, I don't follow that that Twitter and all that stuff, social media as much.
I try not to.
Man, that's another one.
It sounds like it's, in the old school terms, carry on Millwall. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
And we're laughing, but it's like, this is the fucking football club that we like. How long you supported the club, Pete? Fucking, how long have you been going? 50 odd years?
When I was about 6, so 56 years. 56.
Like, all your boys go, all your fucking family go. What my dad went, his fucking dad went. I've got fucking programs. Programs in here that my granddad's from the 50s.
Yeah.
Like, it's a fucking, like, it means everything to us. And it's like being made a fucking mockery of, in my opinion. And it's not like I said, it's just fucking embarrassing.
That's another one that will be waiting for you at the gates of hell. Ivanovic is dead.
I don't know what he looks like, so he could get me early if he wanted to. Fuck you, hell. But this now with Bradshaw already out, so I think Bradshaw was sent to 12 weeks. That's obviously now reduced. And they're saying Coburn 6 to 8, and the Serb was the same. Although Joe said he could be fit for Saturday. The man's going to sneak on in an Ivanovic shirt. It's all right, I got this.
I'll give him all this ice stuff. They get on these ice machines, don't they? Put their legs in them and all that. Them ice machines. But then you're going to. And I reckon he'll be back in 2-3 weeks.
You're going to rush him back. It's going to, again, it's no good for the player, is it? So where's it now? 19th of September. So realistically, September, none of them are coming back before November, realistically. So that's the way I see it. And we're going to look at options. We've got one fit, recognised by Neil Harris, striker at the club, right? We've also got Idamo Maku, and I've banged that drum so many times that I can't keep going on about it, but he can play up front. He got man of the match against Preston. He looks lively. He looks dangerous. He's pacey. He's powerful. He's willing to take responsibility. But he's not. I don't think he's going to start Saturday. I think that Macaulay Langstaff is finally, by default, going to get his opportunity in the first team to start. I really feel for him, by the way, with that chance, because I think he does everything right. He has to score. Of course he does. But the goalkeeper gets a toe on it and it goes wide. And I think if he'd have had a run of games, he would have scored it. So, boys, Pete, we'll kick off with you. What's your thoughts on Macaulay Langstaff? Can he step up to this level, etc., etc.?
Well, we're not counting League 2 or League 1? League 2, right?
League 2. They were non-league. They got promoted. He scored 41 in 41. And then he went to League 2. He scored 26 goals.
You've only got to look back at the times of like Gregory and Morrison. You know, they come from similar levels, and they were legends for us, really, aren't they? You know, rolled on to the Bradford final. They'd be ever written down in folk history for Millwall. If the boy just needs a chance, he needs a break. I remember Morrison when he first came into Millwall. Couldn't hit a barn door, could he? Couldn't hit a barn door. Then we went to Charlton one day. He bagged in a brace, and he never looked back ever since. And I think with this boy, you know, again, we have to keep playing the way we're playing and creating chances for him. We can't have him running around like a Bradshaw, yeah, like a Gregory. You've got to feed the boy the chances, the through balls. He's got pace. Get the balls across. Yeah. You know, give him a chance. Make chance of him. Don't hang him out to dry. Don't expect him to do a Gregory and Bradders type job, because he ain't that type of striker.
Play to his strengths.
Like Kevin Nisbet wasn't that sort of type of striker either. You don't make the chance. He's a striker. His goal record proves for itself. We have got to play to his strengths. We've got to give him the chances. That's it. And I think give the boy a chance. The proof, we got to wait and see. Gregory was never an out-and-out goal scorer, would he? He missed much more than he ever scored. But this one, I think, will be the opposite. The more chances you get, the more goals he's going to get. And he ain't going to miss anything like Gregory missed.
Well, I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad I'm seeing a little bit of love for him in the comments as well, because I've seen people saying he's fucking shit. He ain't up to this level. But he's not been given the opportunity yet, and he will get that now, Joe. Money, he'll get that chance.
Yeah, what I'd say is, looking how we've previously played, like previous seasons, I think, why are we going with the little man up top? They're not going to do anything. But we have started to be a bit more creative this season. Yeah. So I think he will start to get chances. I know he's had one or two, but people are forgetting the step up from League 2 to the Championship's a big step. The goals he scored, most of his goals were in non-league and League 2. I think it's a confidence thing with him. He's slowly got to build himself up. If he'd had a run of games, he would have scored that the other day. But I think once he gets that one goal, and if we continue to create chances, the floodgates open. He'll start banging them in.
I believe that as well.
So, I think we've got to be patient with him.
He was very unlucky with opening day of the season. He got his foot. About the argument we had in the group chat where someone said we had something or other. I said, yeah, it was Kenny. Langstaff hit the bar. Connor went, no.
Oh, it was Connor. He was going, I think I missed that in the Watford game, wasn't it?
No, he didn't hit the bar. Not having it. It was like, no, he did. He on the stretch, right at death. And then Connor, about 3 days later, went, yeah, sorry, boys, just seen the highlights. He did it at the bar. It was offside, but he got in the position and he clipped the top of the bar. Then against, of course, Sheffield Wednesday, he follows up Cooper's effort. And I'm pretty sure that went over the line as well. But the goal was already adjudged to be given to Cooper. And then the one he's missed Saturday. But the one he missed Saturday, I know it was a good turnover from Saville, but that's the sort of positions we need to be getting in more. Like Pete says as well, driving through the middle, Watmore straight through the middle. And he's made a great run on the shoulder of the defender through the middle. He does everything right. And I agree with everyone else in the comments and what you boys have said. If he's been playing and he maybe started that game, he would have scored the goal. But again, we're saying, why ain't Harris playing him? Does Harris not like him? Or is Neil Harris doing what he's doing with some of it? He's not so young, Langstaff. He's 26. Is he protecting him because he's lived through what Langstaff is now doing? He don't want to rush him in. He wants to get the best out of him in the long term. And he's thinking, I've come from the same place as I've seen, like we've all said here, Morrison come from the same place and Gregory. So as much as I want him to get me results and get me goals, I'm going to do it right, and we're going to do things slowly and bleed him in when the time's right. And obviously now, whether it's right or not, we've got no fucking choice. He's got to play.
Listen, Harris is the best man for him to be working with, really. Like, as you said, he's come from a similar thing. So under his guidance, he's going to get better.
Yeah, someone else said that. Chop will sort him out. There you go. Steve Lees, the Magic Man, says, you're the Magic Man, Steve Lees. Morrison scored 3 in the first 17 games, then got 18 the next 20. Where does he find this stuff out?
Remember one Gary Alexander as well, when we first signed him from Norre. Yeah. He was starting pretty much all season, and he didn't score his first goal until Boxing Day. I'll never forget it. Boxing Day at home against Brighton. But it weren't just one goal, it was a hat-trick.
Yeah.
And he went on from there, didn't he?
Yeah.
You've got to be patient with these some of these players.
Right, so we've done the Langstaff thing. We're all backing him. Of course we are for Saturday. I'll be fucking over the moon for him if he scores, and for us, because we'll be there. Maku, there's people saying in the comments, well, he's not a striker, he's a winger. He plays left wing for Republic of Ireland under 21s. I think he's at an age that, a bit like Romain Esse, you don't really know where his best position is. He can get nurtured into a preferred position. I don't really think he's a winger. I think he's going to be a better 10 or a striker. But I'm looking at it now through Neil Harris's eyes for Saturday, and it's going to be Langstaff Saturday. I don't think him and Maku, I don't know anything, but I did see people saying they had a row at the Orient game when he got taken off or something like that. So we got Langstaff, right? So is it going to be enough for the next 6 weeks if he doesn't get injured? What do we do? I was thinking about this earlier. What are our actual options? Say the worst did happen to Langstaff. What's our options, right? So you either go to your youth, right, or you look for players that are not attached to clubs. They're free agents. So Neil Harris has said in the week that Tom Leahy, who I've backed for a long time, is a good goal scorer for the 21s, really good player, is on loan at Woking. He's on a youth loan, which means he can also play for our 21s. But he's playing for Woking. He's played every game for him so far since he's been there. He hasn't yet scored. Neil Harris has said he won't be recalling Tom Leahy. Okay, so now where do we go? This one surprised me, right? Henry Hearn. Do you remember Charlie Hearn, boys, that played for Millwall?
Yeah.
His son, Henry Hearn, is in the youth team. I didn't realise this, right? He's also 20 years old. So I thought he was younger than that. Now, he's scored 6 goals. This is an old photo, H. Sorry, mate, but I've got one in the new kit. He scored 6 goals in the opening 4 games this season. He scored an overhead kick in the defeat at Birmingham 4-1. They lost the under-21s for the first time this season, earlier in the week. He scored 6 goals in 4 games. So
where have we heard this all before?
George Alexander.
There you go. The exact person I'm thinking of. Look where he is now. They know that the staff, despite the fact he's scoring them goals, remember the level he's scoring the goals at. The staff usually know if a player's ready for the first team. And I mean, at the age of 20, if you're not breaking in, if you're not in and around it, then I don't think it's ever going to happen.
You finished. Like you say, 20, people go, oh, we've got an apprentice, you've got to learn it. No, Wayne Rooney was 16. I know I'm going for overtime. Wayne Rooney and these other players coming at 16, 17, or in the World Cup of Spain, 16. They've either got it, and 4 years later.
Walcott and Oxlade-Chamberlain were playing at 16 in the Championship for Southampton.
In the first team like 20, forget about it, mate, I think.
Steve Lee says he'll probably play Watmar up front. Mick Shaw says Aziz can play up front. Honeyman up front on his own. I sent that tweet in, boys, didn't I? To the group.
Can we recall this bit?
Huh?
Can we recall this bit if need be?
He scored the winner the other day, didn't he?
Yeah. Listen, if it
he must be laughing. People say, he must be laughing his bollocks off this bit. No, he mustn't, because he didn't want to be here. He won't turn up for training. So he's got to fuck off anyway. But someone put it on Twitter, and I put it in our group, didn't I? And it's like, Neil, someone talking to Neil Harris. Neil, we can we don't have to play Honeyman up front on his own. We've got Langstaff, and then it's Barry from EastEnders going, we're going to do it anyway. Oh, my God.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Eh?
Wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me, right? So look, this is just for a bit of fun, really, now, just to wrap up the show. So we've said, like, okay, we don't think he'll go with the youth. He isn't going to recall Leahy. He won't give Henry Hearn a chance, more than likely, if something does happen to Langstaff. So other options, I said, what about free agents in the group? And the researcher, Ted, earlier, said, there you go, bang, there's all the free agents available. Yeah. So, I mean, there's pages of centre forwards alone. There is pages and pages of this shit, right? So I've said, right, so I've gone through it and I've sort of gone down to, I know, although they're unattached free agents, there's some for that are worth like 8-9 million. So I've gone down to players that sort of would be within our bracket if you could buy them. And it's just for a bit of fun. So I'm going to put the first one on the screen now. I've got to take my glasses off and get right close to the screen for this. There you go. So it's obviously the player, their age, when they was released, and what their current market value is, although they're free agents. Anyone sticking out to you there, boys? Obviously, Andre Gray and Kamar Roof were the only two I think I knew.
What was the other one?
Oh, that's on the other page, right? So we'll do this page first.
No Choupo-Moting. I don't think he's played for like Bayern Munich and all that, though, isn't he?
Is he? That's what I'm saying. Oh, he's German, yeah, German-Belgian.
I bet it's Masao.
PSG.
Who?
Didn't he play with Watford last year? Masao Coney.
I don't know. I'm looking for people in the comments to suggest the player.
Isaac Success, I know him. He was at Watford, I'm sure.
This is just for a bit of fun. This it's not, we're not going to do it. But worst case scenario,
ain't that the Rangers player?
Yeah.
What's happened to him then?
Don't know. Weren't that Andre Gray on about 40 grand a week somewhere? Was he at Leicester? I've got the wrong person.
Watford, maybe.
Yeah, I think he was Watford, then went Leicester. Have I got someone else?
Well, he was at Burnley as well, wasn't he? I don't think he played for Leicester.
Mariano Diaz took the 7 at Madrid after Ronaldo. All right, we'll count him out then. Oh, dear. Johnny Metalcore says, Harris was contacted by Smudger but didn't want him. I think you might have saw that in the Lions Lounge lockdown, mate, that I put out because he said it on that, but I think he was only joking.
Stefan Jovetic used to be at Man City a few years back.
Yeah, he was in my dream team, I think. And as this one for the second page that I found, Mario Balotelli. Wasn't there a tweet that went out before saying he was going to come to us?
Yeah, was that last year sometime? Yeah,
and further down that list, Tyler Bury is now a free agent.
Wow.
But one that did stand out to me there, Scott Hogan.
Yeah.
If you was absolutely fucking hanging out for a bit of experience up front for in the short term, surely Scott Hogan, he always used to score against us, that fucker, didn't he, as well?
Mm. When I used to see his name on a team sheet of another team, I think, oh, for fuck's sake. But I think he may be just... Yeah, I don't know if he's just over it.
Tyler Bury went to Sweden, come back, went to Oxford in pre-season, and he's been released on August the 29th, is that?
Yeah. God, that's late on to get released, isn't it?
He must have gone here and they saw him in pre-season and fucked him off.
They probably find he's got an attitude problem.
Yeah,
something's happened there for him to be released that late.
What Steve Lees has just said, look, we've made the right call with Bury. Oh, dear. But, yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, Scott Hogan, he was at Birmingham when the last time he played.
I swear he's been somewhere else since.
Didn't Sarkic save the penalty from Scott Hogan? That's one for Steve Lees.
Might be right, actually.
Sure.
I think I might be. But there you go, boys. That's us done, finally. Nearly 2 hours in. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, Birmingham, his last team.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, got released by Birmingham.
Where was he before Birmingham?
Goes back on the weekend.
He was at Villa, wasn't he? But then he went Sheffield United on loan, Stoke loan, and then Birmingham. Yeah, Brentford was his best spell.
That's right, Brentford.
It's when Villa signed him, didn't they?
Yeah, look, we could be starting something here. Scott Hogan to the den. Yeah, fucking why not? I don't know.
That's if we're really down to the bet. But listen, he wouldn't be a bad player to bring in.
Where's my old mate, Oliver Burke, these days?
That's a good question. I think he's
breaking back in at Werder Bremen, apparently. He's staying there.
He's back at Werder Bremen?
Yeah. His missus moved over to Germany now and everything, so...
From Towie to Germany. We'd be better off with Hulk Hogan. Steve says, yeah, this guy, you're late to the party, mate. We've already discussed it. Callum Scanlon is allegedly out for 4 months. He put a post out on his own Instagram page, then removed it. But it's been obviously screen grabbed and sent like wildfire. But that's the Den debate done, boys. The preview for Saturday against QPR is up. The score predictions are also... hang on, Kieran's in the Amalfi Coast?
Yeah.
He done his fucking score prediction from Barcelona the other week.
Yeah, he was in Barcelona a couple of weeks ago.
Fucking hell.
He's done Barcelona, Benidorm, Amalfi Coast in the space of like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Some life, eh?
You know, it's all right for some, isn't it? I keep thinking he's quiet on the group. No wonder he's too busy with his fucking pina colada in his mouth.
That's right, mate. Yeah.
Fucking hell, it's all right for some. Someone said put Neil Harris back up front. If it gets to that point, I don't know what we're going to do. I honestly think, I don't know, I've just got a hunch. I don't think you're going to see... I mean, we're pinning all this. Ivanovic is back. We've never even seen him play. He might not be ready for it now.
Better guy.
He's just coming to a new country. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's pressure on him now. There's a bit of a fiasco around it. Coburn's the one that we saw, and he's got the championship experience. But I think he's going to be out for a while.
What sort of style does this Mitrovic play? Is he like Peter Crouch? Is he like...
I think he's... Well, I imagine he's a target man.
Is he can he win the ball? And I don't know nothing about the man.
Connor's just said, see what Connor said. He said, play that Caval Hayward, the youngster who's top scorer in the FA Youth Cup.
Yeah, but he's a big, powerful centre forward, but he was on the bench the other day and Henry Hearn started. So Henry Hearn will get the nod before Cavalli Hayward. But it was Cavalli Hayward, Alfie Massey, and that Josh Stevenson that they all wanted to sign on new contracts. Massey signed one. This was before he signed the new one. This was a couple of months before that. Massey signed one straight away. Cavalli, Hayward and Stevenson didn't. And then eventually Hayward did and Stevenson didn't. Stevenson went to Brentford. Did
that youngster sign for Brentford?
Yeah, that was he got delayed for a couple of months because he had an injury, so it got delayed, but he's gone now. But he was a centre-back anyway. But yeah, I try and look at it from like Neil Harris's point of view. What will he do? Well, I mean, just quickly then, say worst case scenario, Langstaff gets injured in Saturday. I don't even want to fucking consider it. What do you think he would do? Who do you think he'd put up front? Amaku?
That's the only thing I think he would have to do.
Amaku, yeah.
You've got no other choice.
I actually like Amaku. I like Amaku.
Again, in a minute, he's going a bit backwards, isn't he? Because he's not really...
I think his confidence is being affected by all this.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if he put Watmore there.
Watmore, yeah. Wouldn't. We could have had Mr. Muscle up front if he had stayed, because he's fucking doing it for Burnley now.
That's what he's doing it for Burnley. He only started for him. He scored nothing.
No, I mean, he's definitely doing it. He's playing up front. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, doing nothing. Don't worry about that.
All right, boys. Well, look, we're nearly 2 hours in there, aren't we? An hour and 48. Yeah. Fuck me.
Yeah. Flies when we do this.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's much better about Kenny. I think it did work quite well with 3 of us, though, didn't it? It was 4 sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard to get your opinion across in it, but here we go. Right, thanks for watching, everyone. We're all going Saturday, boys, aren't we?
Yeah, we're still waiting for tickets.
Tickets, apparently. Well, mine are. But no, so we'll be doing some bits and bobs at the game. Thanks, everyone, for watching. If you haven't already, then please subscribe to Lions TV.
Come on, you Lions.
Right. Thanks for everyone for listening.
Cheers.